Hey guys, my name is Blasian Bunny and I am a full-time reseller on the Whatnot app where I sell exotic snacks from all over the world. But today, friends, we're going to be talking about shipping settings. Now, the shipping settings are one of those things that you only have to do one time, and you really shouldn't have to touch those settings anymore after you set up what exactly you want. If that sounds interesting to you, stick around and be sure to give this video a like and subscribe so you never miss out on new content. Now, please keep in mind, friends, these are my shipping settings. You could totally have something different depending on how you like to ship or what you sell. It could be different, but these are just the preferences that I like. So let's go through it together.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is I'm looking at this from my mobile device, so download the Whatnot app. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to my profile. We are going to click Seller Hub on the bottom, right in the middle. And then once we hit Seller Hub, the three lines at the top right corner, and then we're going to go to shipping. Now at the top, we're going to see free pickup. I have mine turned off, but if you wanted to do local pickups so that people can not pay shipping and actually meet you at a location, you could totally do that. You just put in the pickup location and any instructions that you have.
I believe how the local pickup works is that when you meet up with that person, they have a code and then they give you that number code. You type it in and that confirms that you've given that item to your customer. For my safety, I do not have this toggled on. I don't want to meet up with anyone, even if they're in my same city. I prefer just to ship it to them.
Next up, we need to go to domestic shipments. Now this one is going to be the one that I feel like people get tripped up on. So if you notice at the top, it says all orders falling outside of your shipping preferences will default to USPS ground advantage. Eligible sellers will default to media mail shipping. So media mail is usually for like books and VHS and DVDs, things of that nature. The first one is going to be eligible shipments under 3 ounces. I have mine turned on because I do like to do the cheap giveaways. If you guys want to learn more about giveaways, be sure to check out my video about giveaways for more detail about that. So here you're going to do domestic shipping 1 to 5 pounds. You have to choose between 2 different options. The first one is USPS priority mail, and it says arrive in 1 to 3 business days, best for time sensitive shipments. I have always had mine set to this option. The second option is USPS flat rate boxes, ship at a fixed rate with the United States regardless of the weight or distance.
Once your customer has purchased a couple of items that have weight up to 1 pound, shipping is going to cost $9.21 for the first pound. So this right here is going to say, do you want it to be priority or do you want it to be a priority flat rate? Let me explain how priority shipping works. Priority shipping is you pay $9.21 for the first pound of shipping. Pound 2, 3, 4, and 5 are completely free. If your customer somehow gets more than 5 pounds, pound 6 will be $9.21, and then pound 7, 8, 9, and 10 are free. That's how I explain it in my shows, so it's very easy for people to catch on. Flat rate is going to be $9.21 for up to 70 pounds. That's correct, y'all, 70. So you can get a lot more weight in your shipment. Now you're probably asking, why wouldn't you click the first class shipping option? This is going to be determined by what you sell. In order to use a flat rate label, you have to use a flat rate box. Let me show you guys the biggest box that USPS offers for flat rate shipment. So here's the box right here, friends, and you guys know because it says large flat rate box. This is the largest box that they offer for us to use. You have to use a flat rate box only. You cannot use a poly mailer. You cannot use your own box. You cannot use an Amazon box. You have to use the flat rate that they provide us. Now they do get smaller than this, but this is the largest one that they offer. Do you guys think I could fit 43 items in here? Absolutely not. If you are a clothing seller, if someone buys 5 hoodies and a dress and a pair of shoes, is that gonna fit in here? No, it's not. So depending on what you sell will determine if that is going to be a good option for you. Now, if you are a jewelry seller, I would highly recommend to use the flat rate shipping option because you can fit a lot of jewelry in that flat rate box. If you're someone and you sell kids clothes, like baby clothes, you could probably fit a lot of baby clothes in there. So it just depends on what you sell.
And then the next option is domestic shipments over 5 pounds. I also have mine set to priority mail, but if you notice, there is a third option, which is USPS ground advantage. It says best for shipping heavier items that aren't time sensitive. So you basically are going to be giving your customers a better rate when it comes to heavier packages. In my opinion, I have never used this before because I feel like I'd rather my package get to my customer quickly than cheaper, if that makes sense. Especially now with people being very spoiled with kind of like the Amazon Prime 2-day shipping. I don't want to get a bad review because it is taking longer for a ground advantage box to get to my customer.
The benefits of using ground advantage is that it is going to be a little bit cheaper for your customer when it comes to shipping. However, when you're using ground advantage, you have to use your own packaging materials, period. You're gonna have a G label like this when it comes to ground advantage. And remember, G stands for get your own packaging, okay? So you cannot use the free USPS boxes that they provide us for the priority mail shipments. For priority shipments, it's like 2 to 3 business days. I think ground advantage is like 3 to 7 business days, so that you can see that it's going to be a dramatic difference when it comes to how quickly your items are getting to your customers. However, friends, remember, these are just the shipping options that I use. Use the information that I gave you to determine which option is going to work best for you.
Okay, so then we need to go to shipping costs. So ever since I've been a seller here on the platform, I have always had buyer pays all shipping costs. I have never changed this before. Honestly, I feel like 90% of the sellers here on the platform use this option. Now, the first option is seller pays all shipping.
I've never hit the free shipping option for my customers because remember, like I mentioned earlier, for the first pound of shipping, the buyer is paying $9.21. So say if we have a customer come into my show and they make a purchase and it comes up to $15. I've already paid $9 just for them to get the items shipped to them for free shipping. Plus I'm paying for whatnot seller fees and taxes and things of that nature. So now I probably only profited a couple of dollars. So don't do a free shipping if you don't want it to cut into your profit.
Now, maybe if you sell more luxury items where you're getting a really good amount of profit from the items, maybe the $9.21 is not a big profit cut. But for me, that is not something that I want to do. So I do not have this toggled on. And then our middle button, buyer pays for a set shipping cost. People usually call this reduced shipping. That's if you want your customer to only pay a certain amount. I only want my buyer to pay up to $5 for shipping. Any shipping costs incurred after that, you as the seller will be paying for the shipping.
Now keep in mind, my friends, I have had somebody come in my show and purchase 43 items. I was so thankful. But if I would have had reduced shipping on, I would have had to pay an astronomical price because my customer really supported me, and a lot of the money that I would get for the items they were buying would get eaten up by shipping costs. Trust me, if you do all these things ahead of time, it will make it so much easier and more efficient so that when you're packing, it will be a breeze. If you have any questions, be sure to comment them down below. And if this video helped you in any way, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that you never miss out on future content to make your whatnot business succeed.